Hey guys, Ryan Brownlee, head baseball coach at Western Illinois University. This is Figured Out Baseball. We're going to move on to now, this is our weighted bat warm-up routine. Once they get through that, we're going with half swings. Okay, I love the half swing drill because it does allow guys to actually feel everything, and we're really just trying to get our shaft to our shoulder. Once we get our shaft to our shoulder, then we can actually finish our swing. Okay, and again, they're going slow, get a feel. The tighter I can get my shaft to my shoulder, the more compact and short my swing is going to be. Okay, where guys get into issues is the barrel gets way far away from their shoulders. Okay, so as I'm connecting, you hear connection, as I'm connecting my back elbow to my back hip, we're getting connected and driving through. And again, if you can see my barrel is staying on plane long through the zone and finishing. And again, working from the ground up, driving force into the ground with my front heel, which is going to cause the back hip to turn and then allow me to work from ground up and have a good kinematic sequence swing. Okay, and again, they've been talking about kinematic sequence since the 70s. That's not a new term. Guys are trying to make new terminology, but kinematic sequence has been around for a long, long time. Kinematic sequence is the biomechanical chain working from the ground up, through your feet, into the hip area, chest, here, with the elbows, then hands through, okay? And for those of you that have enough money, a K-Vest is out there. It's great technology. We don't have it because it's not in the budget. If we had money in the budget for it, we would get one. I would use a K-Vest because it explains the story of the swing much better than watching a guy on video or trying to explain it. They can look at the screen and they can tell if they're in sequence or not. And that's with pitchers and hitters both. Guys that throw at an elite level, guys that hit at an elite level have the same sequence. They may look different and their body may look different, but when you look at the K-Vest numbers, the sequence is the same for all of those guys. So again, that's something that we can't see with the human eye. And that's the great thing about the technology that's out there now, is it's helping explain the story. Guys always knew this stuff, but now there's a way easier way to explain it to guys what's going on with that. So that's just a brief explanation with that, with the sequencing part of things. Okay, after that, it's full game swings. But we're big on routines here, we're big on breathing, so their game routine goes through everything. Their game routine is a step out, look at their sign, get their sign, figure out what the sign's actually gonna be. So we'll have them actually, okay, I just got a hit and run from coach. Or I just got a whatever situation we're in, or we're in a move 'em situation. So we'll actually have them process that this is the situation they're in. Or more times than not, it's game-winning run at third base. Now, I think the more that young kids, especially, whether, I don't care if we're hitting off the tee, hey, this is game-winning run at second base right now, and even though I'm hitting off the tee, it's crunch time, and I'm gonna drive a guy in, because as you study the brain doesn't differentiate between it actually happening or you imagining it happening. So the more you can actually put yourself in these situations, game-winning situations, when it happens in a game, you're ready for it because you've been in it 1,000 times already. You've been in it in the cage 1,000 times. Okay, so they're what we try to get our guys to do, and we want them to make this their own. This is their style. I've had crazy styles for guys. Dusty Napoleon at Northwestern used to take his sign with the foot in, and then he would literally bounce down like this and go up like this and then get in the box, and that was his routine. And that guy ended up, I think, 50 RBIs and 50 walks his junior year in his draft with the Athletics. He's one of the original Moneyball guys. So the routine, and I still have the same routine that I used in high school. My high school coach did a lot for me from a mental aspects. We will talk about that later, but my routine was always sign, breath. The audio that I listened to always said breathe, exhale, relax. So on my exhale, I said relax. Okay, so it was inhale, relax, tap, tap, waggle, tap the back of the shoulder and lift the hands. And this was a Gary Ward thing, having connection somewhere with your barrel. So you knew where your barrel was at in space. With Gary Ward, he talked a lot about getting different connections with the barrel to the body, so your hands got in the same spot every time. And I think this allowed me to be really consistent with my barrel because it was tap, tap, waggle, tap, and lift. So my hands were in the exact same spot every time. My body was in the exact same spot. Now, with that being said, I was a proponent of moving around in the box. I know some guys don't like doing that, and again, that's their choice. But if I saw a guy that was throwing slow, I moved up. If I saw a guy that was throwing hard, that didn't have any secondary stuff, I would scoot back. I think you're starting to see it creep into the big leagues now with guys actually adjusting up as pitchers are going through their windup. Okay, so again, that's just the part of it here where we get our game reps in, and these are full swings. Okay, whatever the situation is, okay, I'm here, and if the pitcher sat on me, I would still waggle. I think this is where guys get tight, is because they get in the box, the pitcher and catcher are taking a while, and we're just standing here like a statue. Okay, this is a scientific thing. You can only hold your concentration and focus for 7 seconds. Okay, so as a hitter, if you're in the box for more than 7 seconds, you need to call time and get out because you can't hold your concentration that long. Okay, so if you're in there, the pitcher's sitting on you, okay, and you can feel it if it's getting a while because your mind will start to wander after 7 seconds. Okay, time to get out. Okay, and then start it all back over. Okay, that's part of taking control of your at-bat, is make sure the pitcher's not holding too long but also not rushing you. Okay, and we need to take charge of that. That's not coach's responsibility. That's your responsibility as a hitter to take charge of your at-bat. Okay, so we get in, whatever routine you're going to use. Hopefully we get a great swing off and it's a knock. If not, then we start it all back over again. We use weighted bats with this. I've used a variety over the years. We've filled up bats with sand. You know, there are penny bats out there. We used to have pro cut bats that had weight on the end, so we do want them to use something heavier if they can. They can use their own bat. I'm literally using a fungo because that's probably all I can swing now as a 45-year-old. So I think bat speed's important, so I didn't want to pick up something heavier because it was going to not look very good from a bat speed standpoint, so that's why I'm swinging a fungo. And that's the end of our weighted bat warm-up routine, and this is again Ryan Brownlee from Western Illinois University, and this is Figured Out Baseball.